That's how you learn. You copy and you imitate. And then once you get that rhythm and that cadence and that consistency down and everything starts to conform, then you can start getting creative and start building your own stuff on top of that. We are going to look up another one of our clients, and that's the legendary Jillian Boss. Jillian makes everything look good. And you can see here she does too. Look at what she's done. This really looks like a website, doesn't it? I mean, she's favorited her Instagram stories. You can do this. You just create a story and you can actually select it as a favorite and it'll pop up here. So it's very easy. She's got one about just, telling a little bit about her local community, about her real estate team, some of her listings, et cetera, et cetera. They can click on at the top and that looks, really professional. And then look at this conforming. I mean, you talk about looking nice, and you can tell they sell a lot of real estate property because you know what? This is just going to make any house look better being included here. Look how she uploads every post with a white border around it to give extra space in between that really makes it pop. See, Instagram is very unique because you can see here, when you check out someone on Instagram, every old post stays alive forever. Unlike Facebook, where you have to scroll down and get that loading wheel going that tires everybody out. Instagram, you just scroll down and you can pretty much get a feel for this real estate agent and team and see what they do. You can see her logo is really discreetly everywhere, like a watermark to make it look really professional. Check out the cadence. She goes from inspirational post, property, you got a market update, more property, another market update, property, meet one of the agents on her team, local shot, more property, in and out, nice cadence, all clean and conforming. The colors are crisp, black, whites, and grays, which is very, very luxury oriented. The fonts are all the same everywhere. Nice combination of fonts everywhere on here too. And it's consistent, man. They post regularly. I think she's every other day, maybe even every day now. But I usually say 3 to 5 times a week, make it the same days, make it consistent every single day. And you can see how beautiful this looks and how it just looks like a good marketer. This is someone who looks extremely professional. And that's what you want to look like, someone who's a professional marketer. And that's what someone expects when they hire you. They hire you to market and sell your home and getting exposed. So you need to look good here because this is where it proves it to you. Okay, so let's jump around a little bit here and let's go to the Mark Olson team. These guys are amazing. They are in Iowa and they are one of the highest producing teams in Iowa. They dominate their MLS, #1 in their county. And one of the top teams in Iowa. Could be the top team in Iowa for all I know. Haven't checked in a while. But these guys are just phenomenal. And you can see Mark, Amber, and the whole team, they keep up a wonderful cadence. You see some inspirational posts, some home buyer tips, and some property that's sold. Now here's property that is pending. That's Mark himself. So it's people, more people, photos that they just purchased a home, right? And then more people they purchased a home. And then back something about the tax credit they get. And then boom, right over to more property. And you can see the fonts that they're using, they're usually rotating 3 or 4 fonts. They keep their logo everywhere on here. So that logo keeps showing up to stay in front and it fits, right? It fits. They use a little wider range of colors than some of the other examples, but it works really, really well. And I love how they mix that cadence up on a real high level here. Okay, so now let's go, just to keep things diversified, let's jump up to Canada, right? To Toronto. And this is a team that sells homes in the $1 million all the time. Cynthia Ostos and her whole group. Look what she's done. Very, very similar to Jillian Boss here, how she's got a website look at the top where we can click on any of these favorite stories here to get client testimonials about her team, a little bit of meet the team, seller and buyer home tips, and some featured listings, et cetera, et cetera. Then if you scroll down, look at how beautiful. I mean, this is truly beautiful too. You can see how conforming it is. The same fonts, the same teal colors everywhere. Great job jumping out of people, lots of people everywhere, mixing in property in here as well. People just sold property, so we got that mixed in with people and property everywhere, all the way through. And you can see how beautiful it looks. I mean, you really want to be a part of this page. You want your property. Here's a just purchased property here. So more property, then back to people. Coming soon, more property, back to people. Cynthia's wonderful little baby. So you can see this jumping around, and they're very consistent. They're doing it every single day. They keep up that great cadence of properties and people as well. It's no wonder they have such success in their local market, dominating Toronto, definitely online, just as awesome on Facebook as well too. But like I said, it's kind of easier to show you there. All right, so now let's pick on my wife, okay? So my wife, she doesn't know I'm doing this, so don't tell her if you know her. So this is kind of, but we'll start with the good, right? Okay, so starting with the good, you can see she's got a great logo here, and she does what they call an abbreviated logo, which is really neat too. Look at this lowercase r. So you can see the full logo here, but then they've got an abbreviated logo with the lowercase r. A lot of people do this. That's a great idea, because now you can start sneaking that lowercase r in different places where it's a little bit more discreet, as opposed to the full logo that might show up on a sign or something like that too. So that's a neat idea. The other thing they've done, look what they've done here with their stories. These are all the members of her real estate team, or at least a lot of them, right? And they're just little Instagram stories and videos, kind of like Meet the Agent. You can learn a little bit about each of the agents and administrative staff members of the team. You can see they do a lot of client events as well too. So they have little favorites on the client events up here as well. They make great use of favoriting their stories. Then if we get down in here, you can start to see, again, people and property. Now they have a lot of client events, so they're marketing those client events. There's a snow cone drive. They're helping out with COVID testing here. Here's when I think at some point this year, they hit their 100th home sold of the year. You can see the whole team here. There's more property back on market. So you can see they lay off the property, because believe it or not, too much property can turn them off. So they actually probably have a cadence here that I like a little bit better, which is probably 2 people for every property, right? Because people like looking at people more than they do property. They like to know you, they like to see that. So you can see a just listed, there's property, virtual open house, there's property. And then, there's an open house video shot, a virtual open house, another virtual open house. Then we get in the snow cone client event, back to people. So we're jumping back around. Here's a client testimonial over here. And you can see we're seeing that red and gray and white combo of colors. And then we're going from people to people, back to property, to an inspirational post, which I like, motivational post. I really like those too. Client testimonials all mixed in. So they do a great job of that. Now, let me show you when our conforming can kind of fall apart. And here we are. So now what if I happen to scroll this part of the page where we actually on the same page see 3 promotions for a client event, right? Now they're different client events because if you look close, they're in different neighborhoods that they farm. They have geographic farms. However, it doesn't look good when I'm checking out to see how good they are at marketing, which a lot of clients do, right? So we probably want to try to mix these up, or at least rotate them so they're not all in a line, and maybe make the ads look a little bit different. And then look over here. Even though these 2 posts are beautiful, they're not conforming by way of colors. We're not a teal thing. Now look at it. So I've got a teal pool, and a teal pool. Well, looks great, but it doesn't really match like we do up here, where we're starting to get the reds and the whites a lot more. We start to move down here, it's like our company just changed colors all of a sudden, okay? So that's really me nitpicking, because these guys do an amazing job, and you can see how much they have going on through their events. They are highly active. They generate tons of leads and tons of relationships because of all this stuff they do. And they do a heck of a job with it. One of the most active teams there is. However, we can always get cleaner. We can always brush it up, and that's kind of our job as coaches, to stay on them. Not my job as a husband, though. That's why we don't harp on that too much directly. So that's the idea. So you can see following those guys, following Jillian Boss, right? Following Noah Bailey, and then start watching them, right? And start watching what top producing agents do, so you can follow their lead. So you can start to use their content, so we're not always racking our brains like what to come up with next. These guys use it, you can use it too. Follow that, get on canva.com and start practicing. That gets really fast. It's a very easy program once you kind of create each template. Once you do a client testimonial, once you do an inspirational quote, once we do some sale pending homes, that kind of thing, then it's really just switching out photos and switching out text. It's very, very easy. So practicing that's great. We do not need to hire out. Now, a lot of our clients do hire out marketing people, don't get me wrong. But if you're thinking you can't do this because you can't afford to hire one out, you are wrong. This is very frequently done in-house. In fact, I'm gonna go through, Noah does it in-house, Jillian Boss does it in-house, my wife's team does it in-house, I'm pretty sure Cynthia's team does it in-house too, still. So all that is done in-house by people that don't necessarily have marketing degrees, people that learned on the job. And the way they learned is the way I'm teaching you right now. They started following or cyber stalking all of the people that do a good job of it. So I gave you 5 people, 5 of our clients that I think do a really good job. And I'm sorry if I left some of you out. I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about who to throw up here. But that's how you learn. You copy and you imitate. And then once you get that rhythm and that cadence and that consistency down and everything starts to conform, then you can start getting creative and start building your own stuff on top of that. So in the meantime, I hope this helps. Let's get those Instagram and Facebook business pages up and start your cadence right away. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.